Wow. You have to get up, do what they do. But that was insane. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Come on. I make go records, baby. I'm liking this. Hello, welcome to another episode of Hawks Recap. My name is Clay. Thanks for tuning in. Blackhawks playing their 11th game of the season, starting a 4-game road trip here in Nashville, and well, it didn't start off very good. Blackhawks lose to the Predators by a score of 3-0. So, who wants to talk about this game? Put your hand down. Alright, let's talk about this game. Just utter domination by the Preds in this game. 51 total shots for the Predators and even 20 for the Blackhawks. Predators probably should have won by 6 or 7 goals in this one, but Lehner making 48 stops, a number of just ridiculous ones as well. He was an absolute wall, and the Predators still scored 3 on him. And all 3 of those goals came from Nick Bonino, also known as Bonino. Yeah, it's not even playoffs and he's still scoring. And without his beard, like that just doesn't make any sense in my book. In fact, I feel like all of these goals should be disallowed because he's not sporting his beard. But that's just me. Anyhow, he got a goal in every single period, first, second, and third, all spread out nice and evenly. And also all of those goals came about 5 feet in front of the net. So yeah, obviously, Hawks didn't do a good enough job clearing him specifically away from the front of the net. The puck just seemed to find his stick in this game, just weird bounces or whatever that Leonard never saw. And, well, Preds capitalized on it. Blackhawks didn't do a good job themselves of getting to the front of the net or getting pressure like that. They also really didn't do a good enough job in a lot of areas that probably could have led up to maybe them trying to be able to do that, but we'll talk about that a little bit later here. But the Preds, yeah, it just, everything seemed to come easy for them tonight. One thing that didn't come easy for the Predators was the power play. It also didn't come easy for the Hawks, too. But the Hawks did a good job killing off all 5 of the Predators' power plays, so that's something, right? That's something to be positive about. But yeah, the Hawks didn't do themselves any favors, just 0 for 3. I don't know what their power play is now for the year. It's like 3 for 36 or something like that. It's insanely awful. Something's got to change. But Hawks, yeah, they didn't really put up a whole lot of a fight in this game. Now, with that said, the Predators are a really good team. Like, the Hawks didn't just play a good team tonight or a decent team, what have you. Like, the Predators, they're averaging 4 goals a game right now this season. They've won their last 4 games. They've given up 1 goal in their last 3 games. Like, they're playing really well. If the playoffs started right now, Predators probably are the favorite for the cup. Like, they are playing extremely well right now, and they're not even playing with their best forward in Philip Forsberg. Like, that's nuts. This team is really, really, really good. But with that said, like I said, Hawks didn't really put up a whole lot of a fight in this game. If I was being generous, I would say the Hawks put up a fight for probably the first 10 minutes of this game. It seemed like they came out at least trying to weather the storm. It seemed like they were hustling and forechecking and doing things in the right way. But in the end, they got overwhelmed. We got outmatched in this game. Obviously, Lehner put up a magnificent fight for the full 60, so he's kind of excluded from those comments. But the rest of the team just... that wasn't it. Now, I'm basically just saying obvious things to you guys because, quite frankly, there's not a whole lot to talk about this game. It was a terrible game. It just was. It was against a really, 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 really good team, but it was not the type of game that you are proud of if you're a Hawks player or a Hawks coach or a Hawks fan, obviously. The Hawks need to do some self-reflection if they haven't done it already because they have seen now what they are compared to a cup contending team. And I know nobody really expected this Hawks team to be, cup contenders, but that's always an aspiration for any competitive player. You want to be able to win a championship. That is a goal. No matter how lofty that goal is, it is a goal. And so now that you see where that level is, and how far we are away from it, which is basically light years, you gotta look inside yourself. You gotta figure out, okay, how can we start to somehow close that gap? Obviously, we're not gonna be able to close the entire gap overnight. It's gonna take a long time, but you can make strides to improve it, and that's gonna have to, well, we're gonna have to look deep within ourselves to do it. Notable news before this game was that Brent Seabrook was healthy scratched for the second straight game here. Coming off the great win against the Los Angeles Kings, Coach Colleton thought that that lineup should get another chance to play against a better opponent. Brent Seabrook has never been scratched for more than one game, in a row in his career. This is the first time in his long career, and of course it's Brent Seabrook. It's Brent Seabrook. He's been around for 3 cups. He's part of the leadership of this team, alternate captain. And to decide to healthy scratch him for a second straight game, that is a gutsy decision, and is a decision that could potentially lose the room. And I'm not saying Coach Colleton lost the room or anything, but you got to wonder how maybe the mental psyche was affected of this team going into the game, especially with Seabrook getting healthy scratched, and also the kind of words that came from Seabrook about it. So interesting to see what happens now with the effort that was tonight. I gotta imagine Seabrook will be back in the lineup, because there, quite frankly, is a lot of players who pretty much earned themselves a healthy scratch from this game. Cuckoo certainly didn't play well. Gustafson, what's his value again? Offense? Offense. Where's that been this entire year? Well, you could say that about a lot of players, but seriously, where has it been? The point is, Brent Seabrook's probably back in the lineup next game because, well, nobody's earned their spot. So the Hawks don't start off this road trip in any sort of good fashion. Very terrible game to start this road trip off, but the Hawks play the Kings on Saturday, then the Ducks on Sunday. Gotta imagine Lehner and Crawford will split those games whichever way. Whoever gets the front end, back end, doesn't really matter. They'll split it. And then on Tuesday night, they have the Sharks to finish off this road trip. And quite frankly, all 3 of those teams, not nearly as good as this Predators team. So the Hawks, if they can find their game, they can kind of learn, hopefully, from this game, learn that they really need to pick up their play. They can make this trip into somewhat of a decent thing. We can finish this trip out strong. Hopefully that's the case. Speaking of the rest of this road trip, apologies in advance. I'm going to be out of town for that entire time. Going to be down in the Southwest, specifically Phoenix, playing in a hockey tournament, so I won't be getting Talks recap videos directly after each of those games. I will make them when I get back home, which will be next week, Wednesday. So I'll get to them then, but yeah, just to know, it's going to be a while before the next Hawks recap video. Apologies, like I said. I hope you understand, and if you do, I greatly appreciate it. With that said, thank you so much for watching this episode of Hawks Recap. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Feel free to vent. That's your space. Keep it clean, though. Keep it clean. That's all I ask, but feel free to vent after this game. Like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate that as always, but most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you in a while, but I'll see you next time.